We were focusing on the Roger, we were focusing on the Lancelot. A Yi Sun Shin, a lot of utility and damage towards the late game.
Yeah, lane holders here is what Aether Main brought out. So now they're picking up a page of a World Challengers book, wherein it is actually a quite balanced lineup they have, where they have the potential to really pick off and get the ball rolling very early on in the game if they can get the pickoffs early. But then definitely with the presence of the Yi Sun Shin, they don't need to wait long for that to farm up. We saw it earlier, we've been seeing it all throughout, and we've been seeing it ever since YSS became such an important part of the current meta we're in, where YSS, come the mid game, as long as he didn't get pressured too much, as long as he didn't lose too much resources because of invades, definitely maybe the 7th or 8th minute mark that YSS will be ready and go for fights.
Yeah, and speaking of fights, I really do love seeing Yi Sun Shin in actual fights because the outplays with the dashes, the outplays with the Mountain Shocker, of course, having that utility, having that vision around the map has always been entertaining for me to see. But let's enter the Land of Dawn for the first game between Panda Gaming on the blue side and Aether on the red side. This is already the loser's bracket, so the stakes are high here for the viewers watching right now. A story will end today.
Speaking of stories, one of the stories we said we'd want to watch out for here is the potential pickoff that Aether Main can get in the early game. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but Sackboy was just completely decimated in the mid, in that choke point by that or a purple area shrub there of Reach Apex. Of course, the burst damage coming in from Aether Main was just way too much for Sackboy to handle. Aether wasn't able to secure a kill, but it means a good deal. The fact that their Matilda hits level 2 first, but now Van could be the first one down here for Aether Main, and that's the first kill going to Reach Apex. A bit of a revenge play. Sackboy said, "You sent me home, I'm sending you home next."
Reach Apex finding the opportunity, knowing that Nav is very out of position out there, just capitalizing immediately, and you would want to see that out of Panda Gaming. Not gonna lie, I casted their last game yesterday, their last game last night. They weren't really playing as well as I expected, but right now, my mind is starting to change, but please do continue going for those kinds of plays. It looks like the stun will land, might be another kill, but the dashes and the shields are there.
He able to get away is Yuji. Looking at the dash as well. Yuji is an important part of this line. I'm gonna hit level 4 before that Farsa. Let's see if we'll be able to hit level 4 before the turtle spawns. It is such a really big deal that they sent Sackboy home for that first minion wave. Although he was able to get back with a kill, they still won't have the feathered airstrike ready for this turtle take. But if Aether Main extends this, then definitely that feathered airstrike will be available.
Yeah, and attention's already waiting inside that pixel brush. Does find Nav. Nav in trouble once again. Flicker will be burned.
And now the rest of Aether Main are trying to find a positional advantage there. Blazing Duet gets committed, but Lapu Lapu with a kill. 2 down and Reach Apex now, and no one went down for Aether Main. Dark Warrior can only stand by and watch as the first turtle of the game goes to Aether.
Aether Main securing a kill, and the turtle means 1 objective plus 1 kill. They're gonna take that. My bonus in the mid lane with a Farsa going down to Mathilda, and this is why you ban out that Mathilda, baby. 2-0 already. Oh no, 1-0 and 1 on Eljoy here.
Flying like a G6 for UG. Not a lot of mana right now. He might need to go home soon. He'll be able to deal a burst damage to Dark Warrior, who pops a Conrad Inferno. Take us in. Nav and the rest of Aether Main are going to continue that fight. Dark Warrior, though, needs to get away. He is able to get away, but that brings the rest of Aether Main right into the purple jungle there of Reach Apex. Good use of the Battle Mirror Image to get out. Innocent, able to get out. A really close call, but Dark Warrior's back for round 2, as well as Sackboy with a feathered airstrike. And the members of Aether Main are running low, but then Dark Warrior bit off more than he can chew. He gets taken out, and now 2 members are down for Aether Main, 1 for Reach Apex. It's still a really close game here in the early.
A 2-for-1 exchange with Aether Main still getting the upper hand. I have to say that Aether Main right now still playing in quite a good standing against Panda Gaming, who also improved from last night. So both of them, as I told you earlier, they're bringing out the S game already. They do not want to leave or end the story for tonight. They want to be able to go back to that upper bracket. But looking at Sackboy, level 5 already, access to that feathered airstrike is going to be a big story so far in the mid side, especially with Turtle spawning in 25 seconds from now.
Whoever loses this game goes home. Usually we see a lot of caution, but we're still seeing a lot of aggression from both of these two sides, and a lot of choices to actually just initiate and try to make an opening for themselves instead of playing for that counterpunch. It could be risky, but so far for both of them, it's somewhat working. Reach Apex, though, on the other hand, has had a counterpunch of their own earlier, where we saw Dark Warrior fall and where we got the 2-for-1. So now with this Turtle spawning, let's see how these two teams will play it.
And we are seeing a slight lead coming in from Aether Main. 3v1 here in the mid lane. Dark Warrior fairly tanky, though. I'm not quite sure if he's gonna fall here. Half HP. He still enters that mid lane. He knows he won't die, but looks like attention got spotted by the Mathilda here, and he might just go down.
Here comes the Unstoppable Force, forcing out the Imperial Justice. A tool here for Reach Apex, no longer available. Nav using the Jungle Monster Ejector to keep out Sackboy, stunning him for a moment. Could not position himself just in time with a Feathered Airstrike, and that's another Turtle going to Aether.
And that's the second turtle going to the Aether squad here. And a gold lead is already
PAND.
2K. Oh no, the eject. That's going to be a kill to the Alice. It doesn't even matter if you're sucking out 4 people with that Blood Ode. And Attention looks to be the next victim here. That's 2 kills, 4 free plus the turtle, and that's the same story when they got the turtle early on as well. So PVE, they know how to translate kills to objectives.
Yeah, and now Reach Apex, though, don't forget, they're a Claude-centered lineup, meaning they're just waiting for him to farm up. But then now Reach, they're up against a team that loves, again, we said it, and we've been seeing it the past few days, past 2 days, where Aether Main loves that early to mid aggression control, run you over before you can even farm up and get settled. As Van goes in with the ejector, lands it onto Sackboy, who's taking a lot of damage right now, forcing out the Blazing Duet, and now the members of Aether Main cannot go in. Sure B Rus could not get close enough, and that's going to be the turret going down to the mid. Mathilda gets secures a kill there onto the far side. There's going to be a fight by the orange buff of Reach Apex. They're still fighting. Baron with the Alice ultimate is keeping the members of Aether Main at bay, but no, not for long, as Dark Warrior falls as well.
Another 2-for-1 exchange in the favor of PVE. I'm not quite sure in how they're pulling this off, but it's always PVE. It's always Aether Main going in. Actually not even going in, reacting to that fight and just getting the upper hand all of the time. But I was about to say, Tigasin here, a lot of narrow misses on those axes in those fights. It's always nearing the center, that center space of those two axes. It's quite a shame. Not landing it means missing out on almost a big chunk of the burst damage. But in the top side though, I feel like just a quick control of waves here. You don't want to give up an early outer turret.
No turrets has been broken by Reach Apex. All the turret control, map control here is definitely on the side of Aether Main. And now as this next turtle spawns, the Farce is going to try to position, but I don't think Reach Apex can even get close to this.
Yeah, and Aether Main, another turtle, this time uncontested. In the immortality on Nav, this is just a go signal for him to go in, just mind his own business, try to get the best play possible and not fear the risk of dying.
The toss onto Attention, and you're probably paying attention now. Reach Apex, as your members are going down one by one and you're losing a lot of life. Baron could be up next. He goes down. That's only one casualty though, and Aether Main will take that. They'll be happy for that pick off. Attention was able to get away. Was the first one who was thrown out, but now Aether still definitely have control as the members of Reach Apex cannot position without their tank.
And this is one man down for the side of Panda Gaming. And Aether, it looks like they would be able to secure at least one objective after that kill. And looks like they will transfer to the bottom lane, knowing that the Farsa was there to clear out mid lane. Will it be a fight though?
That's another toss into Attention, but yet again he'll be able to get away using the Imperial Justice just to do that. But then another turret gets broken on the side of Reach Apex. Still no turrets broken here by Reach, even in the top side, because of how well Sagitno's just handling it there with the Lapu-Lapu.
Panda Gaming needs to break this vicious cycle. It's always them losing a skirmish, losing one man, or losing a whole team fight, and then losing objectives right after. They need to make sure to at least break that cycle once, but looks like the cycle continues here. 3 people in the top side, or for the side of PVE, as Dark Warrior gets dove in.
And he might be the one who'll get broken, but no, he'll be finding the safety of the tower as Tigasin gets caught out by Attention. The Comedic lands. Bravest Fighter lands the stun right at the tip, and Aether Main secure another kill onto the tank of Panda. Reach Apex, Dark Warrior fighting for his life with the Conjured Inferno. Here comes Sackboy with a Feathered Airstrike, stopping the members of Aether Main, but just for a moment, as here comes Shirby with the Jeet Kune Do Flaker, blazing duet, but Innocent takes a lot of damage. But then the Alice, the damage from Baron might turn it around, but he gets kicked in the face, and Sackboy with a stun, immobilized onto the Cho. Baron's still alive, but Yuji's there, Shirby as well, and a sure kill for him.
Almost a great turnaround for Panda Gaming, but yet again, PVE found a way, found the execution better, and made sure that they went out there with more kills and less deaths. But in the mid lane, though, Dark Warrior, ouch, that just hurts. You won't heal from the Inferno if you aren't close to your enemies, and that just... what was mid-range damage, by the way. And looking at how this game is going, PVE, they're just playing really well.
Oh man, I think that's just like a Cho who spent way too much time kicking trees in his free time. I think that was like 2 or 3 kicks that sent that depleted minus 40% away from Dark Warrior, but that's going to be the counter engaged by Reach Apex. But no, here comes Aether Main with the counter of their own. Beerus, though, takes a lot of damage from that Blazing Duet. A little bit of a miscalculation there by Aether Main. Van couldn't get it anywhere with the toss. He's going to pay the price, but he'll be able to get away again with the Guiding Wind of Matilda.
And this is the utility of the Matilda. Not only the damage, not only the shields, but also utility like that. And now that the Lord has been started by PVE, it's 10 minutes in, and looks like the Farsa knows what's up. He would want to zone him out of that Lord area, and it's going fairly slow. I think they need to cancel this.
Yeah, I think Aether Main might actually be waiting for a Mountain Shocker to come available just so they can get a little bit more information. They're starting it now, but they manage that minion wave first. There is the Mountain Shocker giving the information, and Aether Main smells blood. They're going to be going in for a fight or maybe for a hell of a zone out, and another toss into attention. Here comes the Feathered Airstrike. That's going to be -1 on Panda. Reach Apex. Dark Warrior really low, but Dark Warrior's in a completely different part of the map. He's not here in this fight. He's getting chased down by Cho. He uses the scythes. He'll be able to provide space and stops the chase, but Aether Main has the Lord set in their eyes.
You would think that the Sylvanas the one trying to get targets, but at this point, the Jawhead is the Apex Predator, and attention is surely getting a lot of attention here.
No!
Alice wasn't even able to cast her Blood Ode, and she just goes down in a matter of seconds. Now the Lord for PVE, again, kills objectives, PVE in the zone.
The Lord with the knock-up assist. Unfortunate timing, although I'm not completely sure if that was the Lord or Beerus who was just able to time a Jeet Kune Do third activation, but I really feel like that was the Lord. Aether Main, I think, did a lot of praying, waiting for this matchup, but now it's Reach that needs to pray as the members of Aether Main are creeping in close. The game is paused as the Lord marches in the bottom lane. What do you see as a potential comeback factor here for Reach?
Well, comeback factor, of course. Let's first of all, let's stop the choirs, the hymns of the choirs of angels singing the Aether Main theme. But apart from that, that Lord attempt, that Lord steal, that really went badly for Reach Apex here. So comeback, it's really hard to think of it when they're playing this way. They're really not playing up to the expectations that we have with them. They have errors that shouldn't even exist. It's errors forced by Aether Main. But then again, even if it's forced errors, you could have well avoided it by not just biting it, like literally just back off. But then again, it's easier said than done. And for Reach Apex, I feel like it's a lack of communication for now. The first thing that they need to fix while we're on pause, hopefully that they could think it to themselves, because as far as I know, they can't talk to each other during pauses.
Yep,
so just think of it together, like feel it in your bones that you need to talk more. Like in the silence of the pause, try to realize that, hey, I think it would be better if we talked more, like communicated more, called out better placements, and maybe we could find ourselves in a better position. But for now, Aether Main is a 10k gold lead. There's no sugarcoating that this comeback might not even be possible. But of course, miracles do happen. It might just be now.
There's a stun and immobilize right onto Van. eats the tip of the comedic lance, but then Sherby with a pick off there onto Dark Warrior. Air UG coming in, and the kill onto Dark Warrior is complete. It's a 5 versus 4 scenario now. Actually, it's a 6 versus 4 as the Lord is marching down in the bottom lane. Aether Main, though, has not broken a tower just yet. The minion waves aren't there for them. The Lord isn't there for them anymore. Baron still trying to fight it, already forced to use the flicker. Sherby trying to get into that mid lane tower, but then the entry by Tigasin. Look at Sagitnu right onto Farsa. Joko spots out Claude, and that's a kill for him. A kick into Baron, and 4 are down. Only attention is left. Cometic Lance misses. The Shunpo dash completes it, and Aether Main flashing the sticker. No more flickers with a bit of a snicker. Gets game number 1.
Game 1 going to Aether Main. I'm sure they're quite happy with how they performed in this game, especially in that final place or maybe even the early place. They knew how to rotate quickly. And when I say quickly, some teams, I'm not gonna, of course, say out the teams, but some teams, they tend to rotate but end up not actually achieving anything, but they do so quickly. And that's the attempt of it. But Aether Main this time around, they rotated quickly and still got results. It wasn't rushed at all. But then again, as I said earlier, Reach Apex, they really had trouble in responding to those quick rotations. And I feel like playing around the vision a little bit, playing around the communication for Panda Gaming would be key to at least get the next win. Because if they do, it's going to be bye-bye for them for now. And attention, I feel like he needs a little bit of attention from his team. He needs to be able to communicate his position to make sure that he avoids dying for free, because for at least for this game, him dying for most of the time has been the thing that kept PVE alive.
And that's because he just kept placing himself in aggressive shrub positions because, of course, he really needed to provide that information for his team. But then I think this was just a case of Aether Main just snowballing way too fast.
Yeah,
they were
way
literal
too fast.
wrecking balls in this game. And Reach Apex just couldn't find any footing at all, couldn't find any momentum. They were finding a few kills, counter punches, and they were able to punish some of the mistakes Aether Main were making, but we just didn't see any loss of control from the side of Aether Main. They were always in control of this game.
Yeah, I have to agree with you over there. It's mainly because of them securing objectives after kills, and it's a very textbook for, again, winning games in not just MPL, winning games in general.
Yeah.
Securing objectives after kills should be the go-to. It's not going to recall or regen. If you could take another objective after a kill, just go for it. But of course, a lot has to be said about that game, and Midnight has his full game analysis for you guys and for us as well. So Midnight, for the post-game analysis, take it away.
Well, for starters, maraming kailangang ayusin ang Reach Apex. Number 1, the drafting. Number 2, the execution. And number 3, understanding when to fight and when not to fight. Once again, my name is Midnight, your resident analyst for this series. And Aether Main, tama yung sinabi ng mga caches natin, mahilig sila lumaban ng lumaban. This is somewhat of a playstyle na evolved na talaga for Aether Main. No? Even though they're composed of late-game heroes, they really love playing on those opportunities. Kapag nakakita sila ng window na pwede silang mag-work around, like for example, a pick-off or a small skirmish na alam nila may makukuha silang trade, they will go for that. Now, on the other side, you have Reach Apex who have first pick the Claude. No? That's the number 1 issue. The first pick Claude. Hindi naman masama mag-first pick Claude. It's just an open selection of variety here for Aether Main na pwede nilang gamitin against the Claude. So medyo malaking risk yung pinatakbo ng Reach Apex sa draft na yon. Now, let's first look at the items kung para malaman natin kung ano yung mga nangyari do sa game na yon. Now, dahil nga tapos na yung draft, ang pwede nilang gawin dito is either i-adjust nila yung laro or i-adjust nila yung mga items na bibili nila. Kasi syempre, pipili ka on how you want to play out the game. Now, Panda Gaming needs to be able to sustain the early game fights against PVE. And the way you do that is by buying tanky items. Now, there's a difference between tanking damage and sustaining damage. Sustaining damage is over time, nai-heal mo or tinatanggap mo yung damage kasi alam mo i-regen mo naman. Tanking damage is essentially just the raw damage output, willing kang tangkihin yon from the enemy. So, dito tayo kay Tams. The first item that he picked up was the Queen's Wings. Now, you get a lot of sustain once the HP